Let's round out the top stories from the world of science with CTV science and technology expert Dan Riskin. Good morning to you, Dan. Hope you're doing well. Dan, you're the expert. So how do you get people to think you're an expert? Because I want people to think that I have some sort of expertise.
Yeah, so there's a trick that has come out in a journal about marketing, and basically you suggest a pairing. So this is something that wine people have known for a long time, interior decorators have known for a long time, but this was formally tested with a whole bunch of different online surveys where they asked people about, to try different spices in their cooking, but sometimes they were just offered one spice, and sometimes they said, listen, if you're going to try this spice, always try it with this one because that makes a really neat combination. Or with art, if you're going to buy this piece, you should definitely buy this piece to go with it. Or if you're going to watch this documentary on Netflix, you should read this book at the same time. If you suggest a pair of things, people will think you're more of an expert. They will like the things that you've suggested more than they would otherwise, and they're more likely to come back to you for more recommendations in the future. So it's a pretty simple hack. It feels like you're asking them to do more, but in fact, it's going to make you come off as an expert, so you should go for it.
You know, if you like watching CP24 Breakfast, you should check out Live at Noon, also great television. Good pairing too, right? Exactly. I think I'm getting the hang of it here. All right, Dan, this is another question. I'm really curious about this, and I'm glad you really brought this up because we see so much reporting on climate change, time and time again. Is it making a dent, though, in public perceptions of climate change?
Especially with this, landmark ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court, it feels like the world is so divided. And sometimes it feels like there are people who believe in climate change and are willing to accept the evidence, and there are people who are just stuck in denial. They have their heads in the sand and they're just ignoring it. A new study out of the States shows that when people see accurate reporting about climate change, it does move the dial, even for people who before did not believe climate change was human caused. And so this does show that good reporting by responsible news organizations does make a difference. The drawback is it seems to be short-lived. So if you give people a survey a little bit later, often those effects go away, especially if they're seeing false news that reports that these things aren't important. So it's a very, very hard push to get people on side with climate change, but the accurate reporting does help, even though sometimes it feels like it's not doing anything. Yeah,
you get the accurate reporting mixed in with some misinformation, mixed in with social media. It's kind of a vicious, toxic blend. So I don't recommend that pairing, Dan. I'm gonna recommend against that. Okay, so here's our last topic of the day, and this is a pretty fascinating one because if a person fails this 10-second test, and Jen, we're going to invite you in for this one, they are twice as likely to die in the next decade. So we're going to get you to put us to the test. So maybe don't block Dan.
Oh yeah,
but
sorry,
Dan, if you could give us some advice on what that test is, and then we'll try it out.
Okay, yeah, Jen, you have an unfair disadvantage here because you're in high heels, so you're allowed to take your shoes off if you want to. But this is, all you have to do is stand on one leg for 10 seconds. There's a study out of the States that shows that when people between the ages of 51 and 75 take this test, the people who pass the test, they live longer than the people who failed the test. So go ahead, I'll give you the numbers in a second. Nick's doing well. You got to have your arms close to your center of your body. You can't hold them out to the side. Yeah, you got it. Nick, you're doing nicely.
All right.
Yeah, good. Okay. And Jen, are you also?
Do I need a new co-anchor in 10 years or not?
Oh, Jen almost lost it there. But it looks
I'm
like
in heels because I like a challenge.
She's trying.
And I'm hoping.
Must be up, right?
Okay, you got to be 10 seconds by now.
I'm going to be fully cramped up too by the end of this.
So with this study, it was elderly people who took this test. And then they looked at the death rate for people after it. And perhaps not surprisingly, the people that failed that test were more likely to die in the ensuing decade. It wasn't standing on one leg that made the difference, of course. It's just that there are a whole bunch of different health issues that can affect your ability to balance. And so this has been suggested to doctors as a quick way to check in with your elderly patients to see how they're doing and then maybe to flag if there's something that's preventing them from doing it.
Okay, great to know. Good to know as always. Dan, I know you're going to be taking the month of July off, not taking it off. You got some well-earned vacation. So we'll see you back here, end of July or beginning of August?
Beginning of August. I'm taking July. I'm going to run for the hills and follow up on your whatever pairing you suggest.
I'll send you my pairings. Okay, absolutely. Great to talk to you. Thanks so much for this, Dan. Appreciate this.
Thanks,
Have a great time off.
You are looking at the newest face, the new ambassador of the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair's 100th anniversary. This is Winston. He's joining us from our CP24 parking lot this morning, along with the CEO of the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair, Charlie Johnstone, and Katie Brown. Thank you for coming. Welcome to the show, and thank you for bringing Winston. So tell us about him. He's 27 years old, a Percheron Cross. Why has he been chosen as the ambassador this year?
It's a big year for the Royal. We're celebrating a century of change champions, we needed a big ambassador, and it doesn't get any bigger than Winston.
No, it doesn't.
So what's Winston's story?
Winston is the longest serving member of the Toronto Police Mounted Unit, and representing the Royal, because draft horses were used on the farm for years and years also. So great community member, and great ambassador, great demeanor, and kind of representing all we stand for at the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair.
Absolutely, and this is very exciting because after a 2-year pandemic hiatus, the Royal Agricultural Winter Fair is back, 100 days and counting, November 4th to the 13th. So tell us about some of the changes that are going to be coming back for this reunion.
It's spectacular. I mean, we really are celebrating a century of champions. So when you talk about all the agriculture shows, the #1 indoor horse show in North America, all the activities, frankly, the pandemic's helped the Royal in some respects. We're all more interested and concerned about where does our food come from, how does it get from farm to table, how am I feeding my family. This is where you come to the Royal to understand that and talk to the producers directly. So really looking forward to a spectacular event, and to celebrate 100 years, we're putting on this spectacular showcase and gala. We've got Blue Rodeo and Rick Mercer hosting an event down at the Coliseum for us. We can see the RCMP musical ride, all Canadian talent, wrapping ourselves in the Canadian flag. Really a celebration, again, of 100 years of bringing the country to the city at the Royal.
And Dorothy, can you pick up a bit on that importance of, because when you're living in a concrete jungle like downtown Toronto, you covered apartment buildings, condos, etc. Some people who live here may not realize just how close agriculture is to them and how connected they are to their food here. Bringing that to the city, the importance of that.
100%. I mean, we're another family generation removed from the family farm. But we're all connected by food. How we prepare it and what we do with it may be different, but we need food as sustenance. And I think the relevance of it is, there's a lot more urban agriculture. What are people doing in their backyards, on their patios? Those types of things are all part of it, and I think it's really something. The sustainability of our environment are all part of our ecosystem that we need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So, it really is that real, authentic connection that we have to the land and the animals.
Absolutely. Now, Katie, I know that Winston lives on your farm. Can you talk about his personality? What kind of horse is he? What does he enjoy doing? I'm just checking out his massive hooves. Those are different than, let's say, race horses, right?
Of course, yes. They're a lot bigger. And Winston, he is very regal. He's always watching the farm. That police horse has never left him. He's very in charge. He looks over everything at the farm.
Wow, he is beautiful.
Now, we just talked about local food. George gave me this apple. Can I, Katie, give Winston this apple to sort of have a little snack on this morning? Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, here you go, Winston, buddy.
You can just take the whole thing down, eh?
You might take a bite.
Might take a bite?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He's polite.
Yeah, he's polite. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to eat with your mouth on, right, Winston? What a beautiful, and Winston, of course, will be there at the fair.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the whole point. Come down, see Winston, get your photo with him.
Yeah.
Great opportunity to bring the family and kids down the fair.
Just a beautiful animal, Katie. You must be so proud.
I am very proud of him.
Oh, what a good boy. And 27 years old. Can I ask the life expectancy of horses? I don't think many people know.
Sometimes up to 30. His best friend was 36. He passed away in October.
Wow.
So, yeah, it can be...
Can get a little messy.
It can get a little messy.
It's okay.
He's like a baby right now. Okay, well, Winston's enjoying his apple.
Yeah.
Good luck with the fair this year. Very exciting. And thanks for bringing Winston down to meet us this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. We'll see you in November.
Okay, absolutely.
Beach ain't the same without the sun. Coke ain't the same without the rum. Vegas needs them neon lights. Tequila needs that lime. Smoke ain't the same without the green.
Platinum-selling country artist Brett Kissel recently released his new single, Ain't the Same, featuring You See Them in There. Iconic R&B boy band from the 90s, 98 Degrees, and we welcome the pride of St. Paul, Alberta, population 5863. Brett Kissel to CP24 Breakfast. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning. Yes, population 5863, but I'll tell you, a couple weekends ago, we played a festival called the Centerfield Music Festival that I started a few years ago, and I think we doubled the town's population
Explosion.
at the show, so it was pretty fun.
So you're there with Charlie, the Wonder Wiener dog. You're in your garage. You're not in Europe. I misspoke. You're actually home on the ranch, 112-year-old ranch. Generations, eh?
Yeah, and it's pretty special to be out here. And don't get me wrong, originally when we had booked our conversation, I was supposed to be in Milan, Italy, but it took us 2 days to get to Italy based on how travel is these days. And it took me, 48 hours to get home what was supposed to be a 9-hour flight. And it's our wedding anniversary.
Oh, congrats.
My wife and I in 2 days, and I was supposed to get home the day before, and I'm like, yeah, just watch me get back on the road and miss our 11th anniversary. Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Hey, look, you're a jet setter and you're working hard, and that's all that matters. And look, here's the thing. This kind of collaboration, you've done this before with an urban artist. You did the track with Nelly in 2020, also platinum. She drives me crazy. So here you are, you're fully grown country boy with a grown-up boy band, and this equals another hit single. How did you connect with these guys? I want to hear it.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, I think that there's something special in the water or in the air there in your studio, because just, I don't know, maybe on the 3rd floor during the Much Music Video Awards in 2018, I got to meet 98 Degrees for the very first time. We actually shared a dressing room together. And, when you spend an entire day together, I'm the kind of guy who's like, hey, here's my number. If you ever find yourself wanting to go to a ranch in Alberta, let me know. And they're like, hey, and if you ever find yourself in Hollywood or Vegas or, where Nick Lachey lives in Honolulu, let us know. And I'd written the song Ain't the Same with my friend Karen Kozowski, as well as Tim Nichols. And I texted it to the guys and copied their management, tried to do the right thing. And they said, yeah, we're in, we love it. Let's go into the studio tomorrow, send us the track. Like, that never happens. And the song, as you hear it today, is exactly as they recorded it. Pretty special.
Sometimes I'm just guessing you're a perfectionist when you're in the studio. You'll probably obsess and finesse and fetishize over every little hook and, lick and beat. But then when you got to work with, 4 other guys who've been doing it for a while too, with healthy egos, let's put that out there. Did it take a while to put this thing down?
So that's a very good question. And everybody would assume that there would be difficulties because of all the different personality traits. But the word that you brought up was ego. And I'm so grateful that you brought that up, because there was none of it at all, period. With these guys, I mean, they've recorded with Mariah Carey. They've had a #1 with Stevie Wonder.
Right.
And then they decide to use this Alberta farm guy in Brett Kissel for their first ever adventure into country music, and there was no ego at all. They did their recording, they sent it back to me, said, what do you think? I said, I love it. They said, we love it too. And boom, we have ourselves a hit single that quickly.
That's awesome, because you know what? In this country sometimes, even in the arts, ego and ambition can be pejorative terms. People, we're Canadian, just, don't draw too much attention to yourself. But you got it. When you've got something you want to share, do it. That's the way it's done, and you're proving it. Brett, thanks so much for giving us some time. Real quick, what's your summer schedule? You going to be playing like crazy?
Yeah, I think we're going to hit up every province this summer, and I'm really excited for the George Street Festival in Newfoundland. Is going to be great. Awesome. Country Rock's the Hub in Truro, Nova Scotia, and then we're going to work our way back west. So it's going to be an extraordinary summer to get back in the saddle.
You're Alberta bound, Alberta bound.
Alberta bound.
It's good to be Alberta bound.
And we'll see you at the Calgary Stampede.
Oh, man. You, me, and Costner. There's a movie somewhere in that one, I'll tell you.
100%.
Brett,
let's give him a call.
Awesome. Have a great summer, man. You are a friend of the show forever. You and Charlie and the wife and kids have an awesome time.
Thank you.
26-year-old Montrealer Nico Atsadis has returned home after a week-long heart trek, wolfing down 50 poutines, 50 from across La Belle Provence. Let's say a big bonjour and calimera to cheese, potato, and greasy gravy train lover, Nico the Greco Atsadis. Nico, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Nico, why? Is this just for TikTok traffic? Do you have a death by cheese wish, or do you just love hangover food?
No, I just wanted to progress in my foodie journey. I ate at plenty of restaurants in Montreal. I wanted to discover more of Quebec. I wanted to take the opportunity now that it's beautiful outside and drive and see all the beautiful towns and cities that we have in Quebec and enjoy one of the favorite foods enjoyed by Quebecers.
Now,
Poutine, so.
Rank, the best in order. And I want to know, what was the criteria that you used to rate these?
Okay, so I looked at classic poutines, I really wanted, because there's so many variations of poutines now, a lot of people add all kinds of things on them. So I wanted it to be French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. That's it. So I really looked at who could take these simple 3 ingredients and elevate them the best.
Sure, because there are poutine snobs out there, right? They cringe at using other cheeses or other starches or even throwing meat in there beyond the basics. You know, there's shops that have all these substitutes and, you know, it's like fusion. I don't know. What's your take on that?
I don't mind it. It's delicious. There's plenty, you know, they add beef, hot dogs, bacon, and but I think a poutine really should just be French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. So my take and how I rated my poutines and the poutines that won really were the ones that were authentic and the ones that could take those 3 ingredients and blow my mind.
Outside of Quebec, does poutine quality drop off?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even in Quebec, you get some poutines that aren't as good as they should be and aren't true to what a poutine should be. So you see, you know, people are using melted cheese, and that, to me, is not a poutine. It's more like a melt.
So look, how you doing? Nico, did you put on some weight? Did you take a portable defib with you? Any heart medication? I don't know.
No, nothing. I make sure I stay active, and you know, after I finished, I dieted for a couple of days, and now I feel fine.
You know, I think you should hit up other Canadian cities and rate their specialty dishes. We've got pea meal bacon sandwiches in Toronto, butter tarts. You could do the Donaires in Halifax, Nanaimo bars out west, Beaver Tails in Ottawa. You're a foodie, right?
I'm a huge foodie, yeah, and I plan on coming to Toronto in a couple of weeks and filming some content over there as well.
As a Greek, do you like feta fries with olive oil? Does that count as Greek poutine?
You could say so, but I do enjoy it. I don't know if the word Greek poutine works, but I do enjoy some French fries and feta and olive oil. You can't go wrong.
Awesome stuff. So how do people get in touch with you and reach out and find out more about your rating poutine?
You can find me on TikTok. If you search Nico Atsaidis, you can follow me there. On Instagram as well. I'm on YouTube, and I have all my contact information on my social media pages.
Nico, great to chat with you. From Greek to Greek, enjoy your meals. We know we do.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Have a great day.